He hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands?
And you know what they say about men with small hands?
He referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem.
Now look, he's got a sign. Show him your hands, Mr. Trump. My hands. Look at these hands. These hands hit a golf ball 285 yards. Look at these hands.
Hiring people to work on your projects illegally. You hired some workers from Poland.
I'm the only one on the stage that's hired people. You haven't hired anybody. All you have to do is look at his credit card. I mean, he is a disaster with his credit cards. Here's a guy that buys a house for $179,000. He sells it to a lobbyist who's probably here for $380,000, and then legislation is passed. You tell me about this guy.
We have a con artist as the front runner in the Republican Party. A guy who has made a career out of telling people lies.
The real con artist is Senator Marco Rubio, who was elected in Florida and who has the worst voting record in the United States Senate. He doesn't go to vote. He's absent. The people of Florida can't stand him. If he ran in Florida today for an office, he couldn't run for dog catcher. He wouldn't be elected. There is a serious question as to whether or not Ted can do this, okay? Because he was not born on the land, he cannot run for office.
There have been questions raised about the issue of, are you eligible to run for president? You were born in Canada.
He became a United States Senator, and then he said, I didn't know I was a citizen of Canada. Lyin, Ted, Lyin, Ted.
My mom is a U.S. citizen by birth. She was born in Wilmington, Delaware. Sir, I'll answer your question, but I'm not going to debate you.
You should go out, get a declaratory judgment, let the courts decide.
Sir, okay, next question.
I want to congratulate Ted on Maine. He should do well in Maine because it's very close to Canada, let's face it. I mean, here's the problem. We're running. He does great. I win. I choose him as my vice presidential candidate, and the Democrats sue because we can't take him along for the ride. I don't like that.
What passport?
Donald Trump is saying that you had a Canadian passport.
It's not true.
False.
Yeah.
Never had a Canadian passport in your entire life.
Of course not. No.
And you're sure you asked your mother, you asked your dad, you never had one.
Yes, I'm sure.
Why are you raising this issue now?
Because now he's doing a little bit better. No, I didn't care before. It's true. Now he's doing better. He's got probably a 4 or 5% chance. Bush, he comes out. He goes, well, I don't think that Donald Trump can beat Hillary Clinton, but I can. I say, well, why aren't you beating me?
He supports Democrats. This is not a guy who is a conservative.
I'm a conservative person. Bush says, I do not believe he's a true conservative. These people are stupid.
The problem with Mr. Trump's language is it's divisive, it's ugly, it's mean-spirited.
Bush said, my tone's not nice. I don't like Donald Trump's tone. You know, he's a low-energy guy, so he doesn't like my tone. I said, tone, we need tone. We need enthusiasm. We need tone. You know, Jeb Bush said, Donald Trump is a gifted politician.
I mean, he's gifted, but he's not.
And what do you make of the fact that he keeps going up in the polls?
I don't think it's going to continue.
My wife said, I thought he was your enemy. Why is he saying that? I said, because he's stupid. What can I tell you? I'm not saying anybody's gifted. I say they're all stiffs. You know, it's easy.
I know how to do this. It is not about trash talk.
2 days ago, he said he would take his pants off and moon everybody, and that's fine. Nobody reports that. He gets up and says that, and then he tells me, oh, my language was a little bit rough. Presidential's easy. You know what presidential is? I walk on. Here's what.
Trump. Word, just one word.
Loser.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
He said that very simply because he has failed in this campaign. It's been a total disaster. Nobody cares. Now, there's only a microphone. I thought somebody threw something at me. I was saying, is that Jeb? Well, I would say Jeb Bush is a frequent target because when this whole thing started, I thought he was going to be the primary competition. But he's drifted very much to the middle of the pack, and he's rapidly disappearing. So we're going to have to start looking at somebody else. Are these dishonest people in the media? Without the media, Hillary Clinton couldn't be elected dog catcher. The political press is among the most dishonest people that I've ever met. They don't want to give it straight because the press are liars. They're terrible people. Of course, you're excluded, Carl. But I think the political press, you're in the middle. Whoa. Whoa. The most dishonest people in the world. Look at them. Look at them all back there. Most dishonest people. Scavengers. They're like scavengers. That's wrong. They were wrong. It's the New York Times. They're always wrong. The New York Times, which is, forget it. I call it the failing New York Times.
People across the border, rapists and murder.
No. We're talking about illegal immigration. You're with Telemundo, and Telemundo should be ashamed. And I'll tell you something. What's really going to be fun? I'm right now suing Univision for $500 million. All these maniacs back there, the press, they are the worst. Like this sleazy guy right over here from ABC. He's a sleaze in my book. You're a sleaze because you know the facts, and you know the facts well. The most dishonest human beings, these people right here. Look at all the cameras. No, they're the worst.
I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you like this guy. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
Has anyone ever heard of Lindsey Graham? He's constantly on television. Lindsey Graham, a total dope. I'm at 38, I think, in South Carolina. He's at 3. He's a senator.
And you know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell.
And I said, wait a minute. That's a guy that I defeated so badly that he went home and he started to cry, okay? He started to cry.
Don't be the world's biggest jackass.
And I watched this idiot Lindsey Graham on television today, and he calls me a jackass.
He's a jackass.
He's a jackass. And he calls me a jackass. I'm supposed to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. You know, I'm working hard to be nice. In the private sector, he couldn't get a job, believe me. You know, I'm saying to myself, what's this guy, a beggar? He's like begging me to help him with Fox and Friends. He said, could you mention my name? I said, yes, I'll mention. And he gave me his number, and I found the card. I wrote the number down. I don't know if it's the right number. Let's try it. 202-228-0292. I don't know. Maybe it's, you know, it's 3-4 years ago, so maybe it's an old number. 202-228-0292. I don't know. Give it a shot. Your local politician, you know? He won't fix anything, but at least he'll talk to you. So a poll came out the other day. He was at 0.
Why do you think, Senator Graham, then, that he's rising in the polls?
Oh, I think that's the beginning of the end has come.
Yeah, the beginning. Yeah.
He actually probably seems to me not as bright, honestly, as Rick Perry.
Can't name the third one? The third agency of government, yeah. I would do away with the education, commerce.
If you really want to make Hillary Clinton president of the United States, vote for Donald Trump. Dishonest beats crazy.
The third one I can't. Oops.
I think Rick Perry probably is smarter than Lindsey Graham, but what do I know?
Senator, you seem angry.
I am really pissed.
Poll in every single debate. Headline, Trump way up, Cruz going down. They don't like the Wall Street Journal, they don't like NBC, but I like the poll. Just read an article that Cruz is working really hard to, I don't want to use the word bribe, but to bribe. On his financial disclosure form, he didn't even put that he's borrowed money from Citibank and from Goldman Sachs, which is a total violation. Then he pretends like, oh, I have nothing to do with the oil industry. I have nothing to do with the banking industry.
For 40 years, you've been funding liberal Democratic politicians. And by the way,
I funded you.
The
I
reason
funded him.
You're welcome to have the check back.
I funded this guy.
Because let's
I
be
gave
clear.
him a check.
Values in New York City focus around money and the media.
We rebuilt downtown Manhattan, and everybody in the world loved New York and loved New Yorkers. That was a very insulting statement that Ted made. Nasty guy. Now I know why he doesn't have one endorsement from any of his colleagues. He's a nasty guy. They asked Ted Cruz, what do you think of waterboarding? Is it okay? And honestly, I thought he'd say absolutely, and he didn't. She just said a terrible thing. Shout it out, because I don't want to... She said... I never expect to hear that from you again. She said he's a pussy. That's terrible. Terrible. The biggest in the world, the Chinese bank. Don't worry.